I'm going to get a drink of water first. Oh my god. This tan is so bad. Oh my god. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. That's awful. That's awful. Okay, let's do this. It's titled 6.5 because I don't really want to read for that long. Just wanted to clock a little something in today. Okay. By adopting Diogenes as a Stoic icon, Epictetus transformed key markers of Cynic philosophy. He treated Diogenes as an exemplar of philosophical self-mastery, control, a philosopher who should be admired because he was protected by nothing but his honor. Honor is his house, his gate, his guards, his cloak of darkness. Though Epictetus sometimes made use of the vivid, brusque, anecdotal style that characterized Cynic teaching, he also made use of rigorous systematic argument. And even if Epictetus shared with Cynicism as a disdain for mere learning or eloquence, and perchance for what have been described as shocking illustrations, chamber pots, greasy fingers, wobbly legs, dunghills, cracked saucepans, and the like, his appeal to cynicism was nonetheless highly idealized. Epictetus's objection to other lowlier conceptions of cynicism might nonetheless be contextualized, given that he needed to secure an income from his teaching and had a reputation to uphold. In his attempt to reclaim a more respectable cynicism, Epictetus recalls the image of the beggar cynic who hectors everyone who crosses his path and declares, if that's how you picture cynicism, it's better you keep your distance. The proper response to such cheap imitators is to give them a wide berth, attempting to counter the idea that cynics should live on the street in a state of squalor. Epictetus explains that the cynic shouldn't be so filthy that he drives people away. Rather, his ruggedness should be of a clean and healthy kind. From this perspective, the cynic's body should be an advertisement of the merits of his simpler open-air life, a spectacle of health, beauty, and masculine accomplishment, rather than the site of struggle on which the imprints of adversary are wrought. Female cynics were not unheard of, but Epictetus has only men in mind. His vision of the cynic is a man of honor. Oh, that's what he meant. With a mind purer than the sun. Against this particular idealization, and at the risk of donning my treatment of Epictetus at a premature halt, it is worth tuning our attention to the case of hypocrisy, hyperachia. Uh, Bro, I know it's 1 a.m. I know philosophy is a nighttime activity, but why? I need to clock some reading time in, my friend. I need to clock some reading time, my friend. Dude, what is his shadow? Okay, there we go. It's freaking me out right there. I don't know. It makes my eyes look really uneven. All right. Hey, maybe this could be like a lullaby of sorts, because it's just so boring. It'll put you to sleep, perhaps, Nick. Then you could get that full 8 hours, baby. That full 8 hours, baby. Okay, let's continue. Against this particular idealization, at the risk of Drawing my treatment of Epictetus to a premature halt, it is worth tuning our attention to that of Hypatia, who married the cynic Crates, and Diogenes' pupil. As the most famous female cynic from Greek antiquity, Hypatia was treated by later commentators as an exception, with most women presumably not up to the calling of philosophy and certainly not up to the challenge of a lived philosophy such as Cynicism. Perhaps Crates managed well enough despite the presence of Hypatia, Epictetus suggests, but all of the women would be a distraction. If the cynic marries, Epictetus advises he must get a kettle to heat water for the baby, wool for his wife, oil, a cot, a cup, and many pieces of crockery. And with so much drudgery and distraction of that sort, what then will become of the king, whose duty see is to be the overseer of the rest of mankind? Unfortunate associations between cynicism and women were clearly being marginalized and explained away here. With the inclusion of Hypatia and cynic folklore, it seems that the challenge posed by ancient cynicism is social convention included those rights that governed the role of women in society. Oh, that was nice. That was smooth. The Hypatia has been described for the reason as the first feminist. It is claimed by extension that ancient cynicism was basically non-sexist. This is debatable. Cynicism may have embraced hypersteria and thereby undermined social constructs that debarred women from engaging in philosophy, for instance. This inclusive gesture may have well reflected a cynic point of view that there is no difference between men and women when it comes to their aptitude for philosophy, even for philosophy is demanding a cynicism. But it remains that the case that Hypatia deserves her fame for marriage to Crates. Hypatia's induction to philosophy can itself be viewed as a mixed blessing. It is true that Antisthenes apparently declared virtue is the same for women as men, and we ought to make love that such women as that we ought to make love that such women as well will feel proper gratitude. While Diogenes advocated a community of wives, recognizing no other marriage that in union of a man who persuades with the woman who contests, recognizing that women should be able to express some kind of preference in sexual relations, and that they might even approach the virtuous achievements of men, might have been scandalized. The the partionary, the patriarchy of ancient Greece, but it hardly places women in equal footing. Nonetheless, the place of women, or at least Hypatia, within Cynic philosophy was sufficiently awkward to provoke later writers, such as Epictetus, to diminish their significance. This would eventually lead to a situation where Cynic openness to women and other outsiders was effectively reserved. This reversal was complete once Diogenes' apothegms, Frank, either chosen or invented for their misogynist or racist humor, were incorporated into lower level grammar curriculum in antiquity to train boys in the Greek language. It's a bad life that you live in, that you live in. 'Cause I'm getting deeper, stronger. It won't be much longer till you find yourself. Here's a bad life to sell. 'Cause I'll get you managed. Nose on your grind now, you got me into it. One day you'll fit. It's a bad life that you live in. That you live in. Ooh, I get it deeper, stronger. It won't be that longer till you find yourself something like to sell. Oh, bruh, I forgot it was on camera. All right. Should I cop? Let me zoom in a bit. Oh, it's the back of the hoodie. Never. I mean, that is a really cool hoodie, but so basically, it's a hoodie with the quince on it. Here, let's see. Okay, whatever. It's a hoodie with the quince on it, and I thought it was the front, but I guess it's the back, so I don't think I mess with it. But there are a pair of shorts that have that look pretty cool, but maybe we'll get it. Lucian in the second century. Lucian, next section. In the second century, Lucian, an extraordinary rhetorician, um, who is issued from the eastern outskirts of the Roman Empire, transformed Cynic contempt into a satirical art form, influencing writers as diverse and distantly related to Desiderius, Erasmus, Thomas More, Francois Rabelais, Jonathan Swift, Henry Fielding, and Dennis Diderot. Lucian's merciless account of self-immolation of a contemporary Cynic sect leader in the death of Peregrinus again helped distinguish the cultivated man with a taste of highbrow cynicism from the street cynics below. His comical, oh wait, never mind. His comic dialogue, The Runaways, continued with an attack on sham philosophers. Every city is filled with such upstarts, particularly with those who enter the names of Diogenes into the Aeneas and Crates as their patrons, and enlist in the army of dogs. Their offense, quite simply, was to have brought philosophy into disruption, tarnishing its reputation before the unschooled, who would have who would mistake sham philosophy for the thing itself. Against these sham cynics, Lucian's encomium to his apparent teacher, the cynic Demonax, that's a cool name, helped set up a respectable, highly idolized alternative. Lucian's complaint against sham cynicism was also directed at education more generally. His ire was a sort that bemoans the current state of education for the love of what it might otherwise be, for freedom and elevation it promises but never fails to deliver. The debased reality of being a household tutor, which was the dominant educational model at the time, was Lucian decided surely too much for anyone to bear who is even in the slightest degree cultured. Lucian's one salaried posts of the great houses is an attempt to dissuade Greek philosophers from taking up such servile, deeply claustrophobic and compromised positions, where the educator is trapped within a dysfunctional manipulative context, a situation in which the resident employee is revered and demeaned in the same gesture. In this account, Lucian seems moved by the plight of the household educator out of respect for philosophy and its visions of a higher form of education. Even though Lucian is notorious for his mocking tone and tactical evasiveness, there is no cynic contempt for the higher ideals of education here. In Lucian's work, ancient cynics are more offered as the model against the debasement of contemporary cynicism is to be measured, but Lucian is also careful in places to stress the unbridgeable historical distance between his own area and that of Diogenes. This implies, so it has been argued, the impossibility, or even absurdity of practical imitation of the cynic lifestyle, and justifies Lucian's own turn instead toward a literary recreation of the cynic, of the many characters who make an appearance in Lucian's satires. Mm, I'm trying Cockney, but I can't really do it. A fictional persona. What? Of the many characters who make an appearance in Lucian's satires, it has been claimed that Menipus offers the most succinct. No. No, keep going. Okay, I'll keep going. Uh, Man, what is that word? Succulent embodiment is the most succulent? Succulent. Succulent. Briefly and clearly expressed. Use short, succulent. Wait.
Succinct.
Oh, succinct. Succinct. One of the most succinct embodiment of Lucian's positions. As a fictional persona. Menipus allows Lucian to challenge traditions and express through him a kind of cynic derision at the pretense of the pretense to knowledge on the part of professional thinkers. But Lucian's cynicism is nonetheless enclosed within the limits of satirical form. His cynicism can be understood as the controlled evocation of a role where where Lucian avoids identifying too completely with the part. The audience encounters a careful stage cynicism in his work, cynicism confined to dramatic fictional contexts. His relations to cynicism is of admiring but ironic detachment. All right, well, so that. Let's see, I think I kind of read more than I was anticipating. Actually, no, that's about right. All right, well, I think I'm going to cut it here. I'm going to go on Amazon and buy something because let's do it. All right, peace out.